Okay. Good morning, student. Today we are continuing up now chapter number 5. The next topic of our chapter number 5 is same organizational structure, but today we discuss the structure that depends on rules and regulations of our organization. In a previous structure that we discussed, that is functional and divisional. These two structure are based on the production and production line of a organization. Now if we are asking about rules and regulations, then there is a formal or informal organization structure. Formal, informal, as you studied in your English language, there are two types of letter, formal and informal. Formal letters are those letters which are written for the official use. This is a letter to editor, letter to principal, letter to complaining to any department, letter to superintendent of police. That is are the formal, because we have to follow a certain format. And informal letter are those letters which are writing for wishing, greetings, condolences to our relatives. These are informal letters, that is in short that is called letter to relatives. Why they are called formal and informal? Formal are those kind which have certain format which we have to follow, and informal, then there is a no format. We just write down the subject letter, we just write down the main topic of our information from the very first line. So formal, that means we have to follow the certain structure where authority, responsibility fixed, designation of the employees are fixed, they know who is the boss know who are the subordinates. These are the formal. Informal organization are those organization which give priority to the group norms. ग्रुप को प्रायोरिटी दिया जाएगा, ग्रुप को डिस्कशन को फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी देकर दिया जाएगा, उसका मेन मोटिव जो होगा ग्रुप कंफर्ट रहेगा. लेकिन फॉर्मल में फॉर्मल का मेन मोटिव एंड द लास्ट मोटिव ओनली फॉर ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल बेनिफिशियल के लिए होगा. लुक एट द मीनिंग. In an organization, employees are guided by rules and procedures to enable smooth functioning of the enterprises. Job description and rule and procedure related to work and process have to be laid down. This is done through formal organization. On the other hand, informal organization emerges from within the formal organization. Where formal organization is there, informal is also exists there. Within the formal, when the people interact beyond their official defined roles, when people have frequent contacts, they can't be forced into the rigid formal structure. Rather, based on their interaction and friendship, they tend to form groups which show conformity in their interest. That means they are taking the decision according to the group norms. But in formal, whatever the said by the command, whatever the command given by the top management, the subordinates has to follow. That is the rules and that is the regulations. That is called formal. The structure in the formal organization can be functional or divisional. अब वो functional और divisional दोनों तरीके में से कुछ भी एक अडॉप्ट कर सकते हैं. जहां पर रूल्स और रेगुलेशन बहुत ही रिगिड होते हैं, वहां पर हमारा फॉर्मल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन चलता है. Formal and informal are both can exist in functional as well as divisional structure. That can be understood with the following feature. The first feature, that means it specifies the relation among the various job position and the nature of the interrelationship. This clarifies who has to report and to whom. That means यहाँ पर जो हमारा ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्ट्रक्चर का जो हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं अपने इस वीडियो में, that is formal and informal. Today we are discussing the first of meaning what is formal and that is fixed line of communication, fixed rule and regulations. And informal that are group norms के हिसाब से. Priority to group, and this is its main priority to organization. इसका मेन मोटिव जो रहेगा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वेलफेयर रहेगा. ओके, और वहां पर जो प्रायोरिटी रहेगी दैट इज ग्रुप वेलफेयर के लिए रहेगी. ओके, द फर्स्ट फीचर दैट इज डिस्कस इन फॉर्मल, that is authority responsibility relationship is there. Authority responsibility, that means who to whom he has to be responsible and who give the command. The next feature, it means to achieve the objectives specified in the plan, and it laid down rules and position essential for their objectives. That means second main feature is that object oriented. अब object कौन सा रहता है? Organization का. That is profit, survival and growth. Efforts of various departments are coordinated, interlinked and integrated through the formal organization. That means they all departments are well coordinated, because from the very first day they are using and following their rules and regulation of their organization. Third is it deliberately designed by the top management to facilitate the smooth functioning of organization. Next feature is smooth functioning. Make these as headings of the points for getting the good marks in your CBSE exam. The next is it replaces more emphasis on work to be performed from interpersonal relationship among the employees. दूसरी बात, जो इनका मेन जो काम रहेगा वो रहेगा, यहाँ पर जो बात इनकी रहेगी, emphasis on work, and this point is related to same object oriented. पहले ऑब्जेक्ट का मतलब ये ग्रुप के जितने भी हैं वर्क पर एम्फेसिस रहेगा कि किस तरीके से इन्हें ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की सर्वाइवल, प्रॉफिट और ग्रोथ यानी एक्सपेंशन और ग्रोथ पर कंसंट्रेट करना है. दैट विल बी इजीली टारगेटेड एंड इजीली अचीव इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर, दैट इज फॉर्मल. नाउ कम टू द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक ऑफ दिस इज, दैट इज एडवांटेजेस. फॉर्मल स्ट्रक्चर के एडवांटेजेस अब हम डिस्कस करेंगे, एंड जो भी पॉइंट यहां पे लिखे जा रहे हैं, मेक हेडिंग टू दीज पॉइंट्स फॉर गेटिंग गुड मार्क्स in your board exam. The first advantage of the formal organization, it is easier to fix responsibility since mutual relationship are clearly defined. Because first feature ही जो है वही इसके advantage, that is authority responsibility. There is no ambiguity in the role of each member has to play as the duties are specified. This also help in avoiding the duplication of work. तो दो advantages अब यहाँ पर हो गई. पहला तो authority responsibility, relationship, and second heading is no duplication या no overlapping कर लेना आप. Now come to the third advantage. The third is unity of command is there, because everyone is everything is fixed. Okay, there is a complete top management is there. Top management is giving the command in a unique form. The next is it leads to effective accomplishment of goals, because there is authority responsibility is there. There is a unity of command. When unity of command is there, then unity of direction is also exist. So this leads to a complete work of organization in a effective manner, which the work should be performed ensuring that each employee know the role of each has to play. So third heading of our unity of command, or fourth heading is effectiveness. Now come to the fifth point, that is it provides the stability of organization. It gives the survival to the organization, that is called stability. The company existence between the competencies are just there, stability of organization. But despite of all features and all these advantages, this structure had some disadvantages also, and we are disadvantages and other hand it is also called limitations. So किसी भी नेम से आ सकता है, डिसएडवांटेज से भी और लिमिटेशन से भी. But there are certain limitations and there are 3 limitations exist in this organization. The first limitation is this organization leads to procedural delay. Why there are procedural delays? Because there is any changes in the rules or working criteria, then we have to be discuss our top management, we have to be discuss our boss, then boss is, that means boss is our at the middle level, and he has to be discuss the problem of the subordinates to the top management. The top management after analysis the situation give the valuable information to their subordinates, यानी मिडिल वाले को, और मिडिल फिर कन्वे करेगा मैसेज टू द सुपरवाइजर्स का, देन सुपरवाइजर्स कन्वे द मैसेज टू द subordinates or the foreman, function foremanship. So these take so much time and so much time consuming, and that is the reason of procedural delays. So this is the first advantage, that procedural delays are there. Procedural delays, that means if we want any changes, we have to be discussed with the subordinates, then because they have to be follow the complete channel. These are the functional foremanship, ये lower level पर जाते हैं, ये लोग अपने मैनेजर से डिस्कस करेंगे, मैनेजर फिर टॉप से. अब सो वी हैव टू बी फॉलो द, दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम वी डिस्कस, एंड आफ्टर कंप्लीट द डिस्कशन दे गिव द फीडबैक. सो दिस फीडबैक टेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम, एंड समटाइम्स की फीडबैक को आने में इतनी देर हो जाती है कि तब तक वो काम भी पूरा हो जाता है. तो प्रोसीजरल डिलेज आर देयर. Poor organization practice may not provide adequate recognition to the creative talent. यहाँ पर recognition की no recognition, दैट मीन्स अगर किसी भी एम्प्लॉय ने कुछ ज्यादा बढ़िया तरीके का कुछ सजेशन दिया तो उसे किसी भी तरीके की कोई रिकॉग्निशन नहीं मिलती, सारा का सारा जो क्रेडिट है वो किसके हाथ में चला जाता है? टॉप मैनेजमेंट के हाथ में. तो देयर इज नो रिकॉग्निशन. Okay, next last limitation is it is difficult to understand all human relationship in an enterprise, that it places more emphasis on structure and work. Hence the formal organization doesn't provide a complete picture of how an organization works. That means there is a ignorance of employee. The heading third one is ignorance of employee. You have to note down these headings, and if this question is come in the board examination, you have to be write it according to the headings as prescribed in this video. So this is a lecture of today. Have a nice day. Bye bye.